A racist family enjoyed a meal and good service at a Mexican restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee. After the meal, the patrons paid their check and left a huge tip of $0. Their check was only $50, so a tip wouldn't have been that much extra. However, their waiter, Nathan Bergeron, is a white guy, so of course, he got no tip from the racist black family who doesn't tip. He didn't get a tip, but he did get something else. He received a note on the bill. It was a racist note that said, "We don't tip white people, LOL," and that's where we are with race relations, folks. Nathan's response was basically no response at all. He shrugged it off and moved on to his next table. He eventually sent a picture of the racist note to his friends, as he thought they would get a laugh out of it. You can imagine that waiters and waitresses often receive funny notes or something like that, but it's not usually a racist note from a horrible family like that. Can you imagine the outrage if a white family wrote a racist note to a black waiter? What if a white person wrote, "We don't tip black people, LOL," and gave it to the waiter? You know what would happen next, right? The place would get burnt down. Al Sharpton shows up with Black Lives Matter, they burn the place down, riots everywhere, white waiters attacked with mean notes, and former President Obama shows up like he's still in charge. The difference between how people react is immense. Nathan did the right thing by blowing it off and moving forward. He acted with class instead of being an ass. Nathan Bergeron, a white waiter at On the Border Mexican Grill and Cantina in Memphis, told WATN TV last week that while waiting his last table of the night recently, he received a $0 tip on a meal that was nearly $50. The patrons included a husband, wife and a teenager. Receiving no tip on a large meal is not surprising, Bergeron told WATN. But what he did find surprising is the reason the customers left no tip. At the top of the check, the customers wrote, "We don't tip white people, LOL." I was more shocked, he said. The fact that they would be so blatant and put it out there. I treated that table no differently from anyone else, he explained. After he left the restaurant that night, Bergeron told WATN that he took a picture of the receipt and sent it to a few of his friends to find some humor in the situation. One friend in particular, Brandy Shara, took issue with the note, so she posted it to Facebook to raise awareness about Bergeron's situation, according to WATN. He's a good person. He goes to work, does his job, Shara told WATN. When I saw the comment I cried. I was always told, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. In response, Shara created a GoFundMe page for Bergeron. In just 3 days, the crowdfund has well exceeded its goal of $500 and has raised nearly $7,000 for Bergeron. Community support has been wonderful, Shara told WATN. Everyone is standing behind Nathan. It's not clear who left the tip, but Bergeron said he isn't going to let the incident dampen his spirits. I'm not going to let this bring me down, he said. I love what I do. I get to meet new people every day and interact with people from all different backgrounds. To make matters worse, Nathan reportedly lives out of his car and is essentially homeless. To see a guy working hard and getting treated like that is just sad, and the family who wrote that note should be deeply ashamed of themselves. His good friend Brandy did something else. She opened a GoFundMe to help him get back on his feet and stop living in his car. He's raised a good amount of money so far, so hopefully, he can find himself an apartment or another rental. Living in a car must be horrible, especially during the summertime when you're forced to sleep in hot weather. Perhaps he can use the money to move in with one of his friends and split the cost of rent and utilities with them. That would allow him to live on the cheap while saving even more money to better his condition. It's always sad when it seems like good people are taken advantage of or have bad things happen to them. It would make more sense if the racist family left that note and he was actually racist. If your waiter really is racist, and you leave no tip, then that's fine. That's what they get. However, if your waiter is nice and your service is good, then always take care of them with at least a 15% tip. Stop living up to stereotypes and start breaking them instead. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.